Hey everybody, this is Rachelle. Thought I'd stop in for a live video since I haven't done one in a while. I had meant to post that I was going to do a live video, but I guess I got busy today and forgot to post that I was going to do one. So I'm just going to chit chat until some people come in. Y'all, I had just posted a video about Roseanne. And if you go into my comment section under that video, it was one person in there, y'all. I guess she was butt hurt about somebody talking about Roseanne's show being canceled. As I was reading her comment, my fingers almost went crazy and responded back, crazy. But I was like, you know what? Why am I getting my blood pressure all up high? Just thank the person for watching the video because ultimately I got that view, whether she liked what I said in the video or not. But the reason why I wanted to come in and talk about further about Roseanne is because since I did my video, I have watched a couple other people's videos on Roseanne. Mr. Timothy Blaine. I watched his video and a couple others. And y'all, I have forgot some of the stuff that Roseanne has said over the years, and how she is a conspiracy theorist, that she's an anti-Semitic, just so much stuff about her that I forgot. And I think what it is that back in the day, Roseanne had so much power when she had that television show. And she could pretty much do and say whatever she wanted because she was the best thing since sliced bread, according to some folk, and all of that. So she got away with a lot of stuff. Y'all remember when she sang the national anthem and she sang all crazy and then grabbed her privates after she got done and spit and all that stuff? That shit ain't cute, you know? Some of the stuff you do, it's one thing to be a comedian, but it's a certain thing when you take it too far. Now, I don't know how anybody can think calling somebody, or saying that if you cross the Muslim Brotherhood with one of the Planet of the Apes, you get Valerie Jarrett. I do not even know how that could be considered funny. Hey girl, rowdy chica. I do not know how you could think that is funny or is not, if anything, if nothing else, racially insensitive. And then Roseanne has been controversial when she had her other show and all the way up until now. Her and that weirdo husband that she had, Tom Arnold. Remember how weird they were? I just look at it this way: when it comes to her, she finally got her wake up card that, nowadays, what you did in the, when was she popping, about in the 90s and stuff, what you did in the 90s and the early 2000s, you're not about to be doing now. Because for one thing, it's too much stuff going on today, and Black people got enough to deal with without your simple ass coming on, um, saying shit. Now, like I told people, it's one thing to like her show and everything, but because I'm not saying, because the person that was under my comments, uh, I said that I never watched her. I watched her a little bit when she came out before, but the reason why I couldn't watch her, first of all, them damn kids was too disrespectful, and anybody who raising their kids is talking back like that, slamming and all this shit. I didn't raise my kids like that, and after a while, that shit got on my damn nerves. Some of her humor did not get me. It didn't make me laugh. After a while, some of her stuff got on my nerves. Now, the reason why I didn't even try to watch it, this time is because prior to her coming on, they were telling you that she was a big Trump supporter, that, she was tweeting all this stuff while he was running. She believed everything that he said about, what do black people got to lose? We getting shot up in the street. See, I'm sorry, but I cannot sit up and watch somebody who believes a certain thing about our whole race of people. Everybody who's black don't live like they did on good times. Now we all not to the extreme of the Cosby Show, but we all fit somewhere in between. We got them from the projects to doctors and lawyers and astronauts and every other thing. I just can't put up with no simple broad like that, and I refuse to watch her. Another thing that person said that just aggravated me, like Wanda Sykes didn't have the right to not want to be a part of the show. And I think I may have gotten it a little wrong. Wanda Sykes is, I think, a contributor to like some of the storylines or something. If I'm not mistaken, like she's a writer or something and was gonna appear on the show. I give it to Wanda Sykes. I give this to her. The person commented that Wanda Sykes probably just didn't want to, be the target of, black people because of what happened when Steve Harvey went to see Trump and all the other people, that had something to do with Trump. Be that as it may, Wanda Sykes might not want no part of that. That might be very well, might be it. Wanda Sykes saw what happened to them and she was like, no, I don't want to be associated with that stuff. I don't want that. I've been bopping along, on my own, making it my own way, and maybe she didn't want to be a part of it. That's her prerogative. And bottom line, as black people, we can like who we want to like and dislike who we want to dislike. I don't this person that wrote all under that video, this broad was busy. I told her fingers must have been tied because this bitch had typed up a page and a half of shit. You know how I read majority of the comments, but when you get to writing books, I am not reading all that shit. I read a lot of stuff that's funny. You can catch it. The person is funny in the first sentence, and I laugh right along with y'all. Some people will write me comments, and because they're so funny, I'll read them over and over again. Sometimes I'll think about their comment after I left the video, and then I'll go back and read it because the shit is so funny. But when you writing several posts and each one of your posts is a damn book, ain't nobody reading all that bullshit, especially when you simple and you telling black people that we shouldn't be in our feelings about Roseanne saying some racist shit. And from what I remember of Valerie Jarrett, she was a quiet spoken woman in the Obama administration. She was high level too. I forgot what her job was, but I remember her being high level. And I, again, don't even know if she has commented back. If she has, I haven't seen it. And, if she hasn't, that just shows you the level of class. She's not even going to stoop so low as to address what this simple minded broad did and said. And excuse me, y'all, Roseanne is stupid because, something that was it Timothy Blaine said. Timothy Blaine's, or either Timothy Blaine or the Scorpion show said, no, it was D.L. Hughley. They said that normally, because Roseanne was only supposed to come back, I think, for a couple of episodes, and then it was just going to be a one and done, a revisiting of her show. But she got such a good response that they picked the show up. It was D.L. Hughley that said it. He said that hardly ever happens. He said that when a network does that, they are very pleased with the show. Now, whether we thought she was racist or not, in the beginning, ABC had overlooked everything that she had said up to that. Because, like I told y'all, when I went to look for the tweet that she made about Valerie Jarrett, it took me a little bit to find it because the broad got so many negative tweets, shit that she done said that I was like, wait a minute, I didn't even know she said all this. I can't stand the bitch even more. I can't stand her. So to that person who was all in my comments with your book, girl, look, go somewhere, have a drink, get a glass of wine, and calm your monkey ass down because, girl, you was all up in your fucking feelings today. I was cracking up, y'all, when I was reading it. I was like, whoever this is just so upset. I was like, this is funny. Like I said, we as black people, some people, and then some black people that I know, they said, you know what? I liked her show. I didn't know, and y'all, while I'm on the subject, I'm gonna tell y'all why I understand what y'all saying when y'all said y'all liked her so. Some people, hidden treasure, she just said, I love the Roshan show, even though she has an abrasive and harsh way of talking. She couldn't believe it. She never saw her as a racist. Now, hidden treasures, let me give you something. Now, y'all remember Paula Dean on the Cooking Network, the Food Network, whatever. Y'all, let me tell y'all, I used to watch that bra every fucking Saturday and Sunday morning. I loved me some Paula Dean. And it wasn't so much, this is before we found out about her, but I just loved her folksy, down to earth way. I thought she cooked a lot like us, and it was food that I understood, food that I could relate to, not where they take some sauce and smear it on a plate and throw a piece of meat in the middle and consider it art. I loved Paula Deen. Child, it hurt my heart when I couldn't watch that bitch no more. I, my mother called me. She was like, well, yo, Paula Dean, you heard what happened to her, Rachel, right? And I was like, what? And then my mother ran it down to me. And y'all, since Paula Dean has gone off, I've read so much stuff about that woman that was racist and how she did the head cook in her the head chef that was a black lady in her restaurant, how she was only paying that lady $6.50 an hour, and how she had promised that woman that if she stuck with her, now this is Paula Dean promising this black chef, you stick with me, we're gonna get rich together, and how Paula Dean show took off, her star rose, and she still was paying that woman damn near below minimum wage, and how just so many things that that Paula Dean said to her employees, how when she got married, she wanted them to dress up like fucking slaves and shit. After I had watched all that, I was like, I turned to her one, like for my final Saturday, and I watched her, and when I turned it off, I said, bitch, I can't watch you no more. So I got to watch you one last weekend. And then after this, I'm boycotting your racist ass. And even to y'all remember when Oprah and Gail went to, now this the part that my mother was fucking with me about, y'all. Y'all remember when Oprah and Gail went to interview Paula Deen? Now, I don't know if any of y'all saw that episode where, I don't remember what Oprah called this show, but all I remember is that she went to interview Paula Deen. And Paula Deen had Oprah and them in these little cabins that was outside the big house. Y'all, my mother said that Paula Deen had Oprah and Gail in the the remodeled slave quarters, Miss Paula's slave quarters. I was so mad at my mother, but I couldn't, y'all. I couldn't help it. My mother was right, because Oprah and them. Now Paula Deen did go there in the morning and make them breakfast and all that, but y'all, after I heard all that shit that happened with Paula Deen, I was caught up in the rapture too, because I loved that woman's show. And then after that, I used to watch the Neelys, because y'all remember that Gina and her husband, the Neelys, came on Paula Deen's show, and that's how they started. That's how they got their show. So she opened the doors for a couple people, but I had to cut her loose because she definitely, when you want a slave themed wedding, you want some of the people that work in your restaurant to dress up like slaves and shit, girl, you need your ass whooped. Y'all, another story that I wanted to revisit that y'all seem to think is so funny is when I was talking about that 30-year-old guy that his parents had to take his silly ass to court to get him the fuck up out their house. Y'all, when I and again, y'all know I got a 31-year-old son. And it was so many stories that I did not tell about my son that if I now what's funny is if I had allowed my son to stay with me, he would have. You know how you always tell your kids that no matter what happens in their life, if they ever need to come home, your door is always open. Well, both of my kids, even though they're adults, I give them keys to my house because you never know what could happen if I'm not home. They always welcome. Well, there's one particular time, I think my son was probably like 25 or so. He had lived in another city. He had moved away to another city, and then he moved back to the city that we all live in. And I had told him when he came home, I said, you don't have to run back to, because we live in Columbus, Ohio. I said, you don't have to run back to Columbus, running to get a place. You can move in with me for, I give you a couple months. And I do mean a couple months because he had a job. Let's face it, he was 25, 26 years old. So y'all, the first month went past, no problem. The second month went past, no problem. Third month, for around the fourth month, towards the end of the fourth month, I said, you know what? This boy think I done forgot. So you know how you make a note to self. I said, girl, when you get off work today, soon as this boy come in, before he go down in that basement, you and him need to have a sit down at the kitchen table and discuss what his intentions are. Because he was supposed to be out in no more than 3 months, and it's going into the fifth month. So while I'm in there cooking, now mind y'all, he 25. I think he was almost 26. So I call him and I say, can you come in the kitchen and talk to me while I'm cooking? So he said, yeah, mom. Yeah, he comes up there. So I said, when do you think you're going to be moving? And then he was like, well, I thought things were going well. So I figured that you need me. And, he didn't say that I needed him because he was staying in my shit. He was like, well, you need me. Well, the other way around, y'all know what I'm trying to say. And then I just thought everything was going so well. And I said, going well for who? And then he was like, well, for both of us. I said, well, no, I don't care how well things are going. You weren't trying to stay with me forever, right? And he was like, well, I figure I'll stay here about a year. I was like, oh hell no. You know how you sitting there like, okay, I'm gonna have to be hard on him and tell him that, I told you 2 months, no more than three. You're not about to be sitting here stacking your money and you grown with a fucking Teddy Pendergrass ass beard. My son got a full beard, y'all. When we go places, people think he my man. They don't think he my damn son. They think he my man. Just recently we were somewhere that I go into every day to get gas, and I was getting ready to introduce the girl. Oh, this is my son. She was like, oh, I thought that was your man, girl. I was like, girl, no, this is my damn son. So I tell him, no, bruh, you got to leave. You remember, I am the person that you couldn't stand when you was a teenager. I was getting on your nerves, and now I can't get you out my fucking house. And he had an attitude, stomped down the stairs, and then eventually later on when he came upstairs to take a shower, he was like, "Ma, I apologize. I thought about what you said, and you're right. I need to get back out here and be a man." Y'all, when I read the story about that 30-year-old, there is so much stuff more to that story. Do you know that he was on some show and they had asked him, did he think that his parents were good people? He said no. He also said that once he does move out their house, that he will probably never speak to them again. He doesn't feel that, he said that he buys his own food and washes his own clothes. He really don't see what inconvenience that he is to them. But y'all, once again, I say that that has a lot to do with the parents. Don't y'all think that, like, when your kids are younger, you got to instill that shit in them that they eventually got to get out your house for the time they little? Because if you don't, like, look what my son was trying me, y'all. If I wouldn't have said anything, like, remember when I told y'all I gave him two, and I said at the most 3 months. When I had my sit down with him, we were well into the fourth month, going into the fifth month before he wouldn't have even brought it up if I didn't bring it up. And when they move home, this is what I tell them. So they can get out of my house real quick. I tell them, you don't gotta pay rent. You just gotta buy your own food. You gotta help me with utilities because he good for leaving televisions on all night, coming and going in and out, cutting my air up, all kinds of shit. So I say just any bill that went up while you were here, that's the only bill that you have to help on. But yeah, this the 30-year-old guy, y'all, he was tripping. And I know this. I know that his parents, even though it probably hurt them to take him to court, I know they glad they did it because he had no shame in his game. Because when you think about it, y'all, I'm not going to say that there haven't been times in my life that I had to move back home for a short period of time, y'all, and it was short. I was in and out so quick that my mother didn't even remember that I was there. Like, it's been a couple of times I had to remind my mother, "Oh, you don't remember when this happened and I came home?" And my mother be like, "When now?" And I'll be like, "Oh, you don't remember?" Because your whole thing is you might have a setback that you might have to move home for maybe a month or two to stack your money real quick, but then you get right back out there. Don't nobody want to be living with their parent being told when to come and go, how late to stay up, cut the music down, cut the TV off, what company you can have. Don't nobody want to be doing that and you grown. So this 30-year-old grown rusty idiot, I do not even know how he could come on TV and just even sit up and talk about how he does not feel that his parents are within their right to ask him to leave and that he upset with them, y'all. I every time I think about that, I cannot believe it. And it makes me more glad that I kept my foot put down when it came to my son, because if I would have given him an inch, he would have took a mile, because people only do to you what you allow them to do. So look, y'all, another thing that I wanted to talk about, y'all, is Morgan Freeman, y'all. I had touched on the allegations against him, and I said at the time that when I did the video that I didn't know the full story of what happened with Morgan Freeman. Now, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, because I still might not have it right. Is it that Morgan Freeman was doing some old man flirting, or was he actually uh touching these women, or was he actually accused of sexual harassment of these women? Because from what I'm reading, Morgan Freeman is like a old G that don't realize he done got old, and that these women ain't for all this bullshit that he doing. But I did not actually hear where he actually, you know, well, I guess sexually harass women. I don't know. And then they said Morgan Freeman is like in his 80s. Y'all, let me give y'all um just a story about my grandfather. Okay. My grandfather and my grandmother had divorced when I was younger. I don't remember how old I was. All I remember is my grandfather was living down the street from my grandmother. He basically lived down the street and around the corner. And my grandfather, I guess, to you at the time, let me think how old I was. So I was about 22. my grandfather may have been the age that I am now, maybe a little bit older. He was probably in his late 50s or so. And I remember I was working, I had a summer job, and I was working with this woman that dated older men. And she used to tell me all these stories about how she getting their money, and she getting their pensions and all this stuff. So I used to just sit up and listen to the lady talk. I was young. I didn't know anything about dating older men. So for me, the stories were just entertainment, because I was probably 2020. I was between 20 and 22. So she probably was in her 40s, and she was dating men that were in their 50s and 60s. Now, if I was in my early 20s, people that age were old. So I remember one time I went over my grandfather's house, and I remember when I got there, my grandfather was reluctant to let me in. So I was like, wait a minute, I done caught the bus all the way over here. You're not opening the door. So he was like, Shell, I got company. So I was like, you got company? And so then I'm still trying to get in. And so then eventually I realized when he was saying he had company, that he meant that he had one, like a woman in there. So I was like, well, it's okay, grandfather. I know you date, you know, you just live around the corner from your ex-wife, but okay. And so he was like, well, all right. Y'all, when he opened up the door to let me in his apartment, who should be sitting there but the lady that I worked with, that had just set up and told me month after month how she be juicing these old men for their money. I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, she got to go. So my grandfather was like, what are you doing? I said, no, no, grandfather, you don't know her. She got to go. And so I was telling my grandfather, I was like, look, grandfather, you don't want to date her because she just be messing around with older guys for their money. So I remember my grandfather was smiling, and he was like, well, that's right. So I was like, no, no, you don't get it. She only after you for your money. So my grandfather, eventually he could see that I wasn't having it. So he told the lady that she had to leave. And when she left, my grandfather was like, Rochelle, look, you're gonna have to stop coming over my house, and you can't be coming over my house putting people out my house. He was like, I'm grown, and I was trying to express to him that you might not want to mess with her. All I could think about is this woman is messing around with my grandfather. She trying to get his money. So now I work with this woman. So that next Monday when I went back to work, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be at work with her talking shit about my grandfather, and I'm about to punch her in her mouth if she say something that's crazy. So I get back to work. Why she got a picture of my grandfather showing it around, talk about how cute he is and how his eyes all hazel, and he might be a older man, but how fine he is and stuff. I'm sitting there like, now wait a minute. On the one hand, she giving him all kind of compliments, but on the other hand, I cannot abide this woman talking about my grandfather, talk about they sex and all. I was sitting there like, oh Lord have mercy. He having sex and everything. And then I told her, I told him, I said, you're gonna fuck around and have a heart attack. And I told him I wasn't coming to his funeral if he died with on top of one of my friends. Cause it was funny that a lot of my friends, when I would introduce them to my grandfather, they used to be thinking he was fine. And I used to be looking at him, how you looking at your grandfather like, wait a minute, let me try to look at him like they're looking at him. I just can't see it. He just looked like grandfather. Don't they know he got false teeth and shit? But I guess they didn't care. Look, I guess he was cute. I don't know. The point I'm trying to make is maybe Morgan Freeman think he still got it, y'all. I don't know. Look, the man, nobody still haven't answered. Was he out there touching women, or was he just saying shit to them? Do any of y'all know? I guess nobody don't know, child. Now, I don't know with the other people that been accused, like Harvey Weinstein. Like I told y'all, I watched the documentary about him. His ass should have been gone long time ago with all the shit that he was doing to women. He was lucky he got away this long because don't it wasn't that those women weren't saying anything. It's that he was so powerful that it was more people trying to keep them quiet for speaking up from some of the shit that he was doing to them because he had been doing it so long that it got good to him. He wasn't even trying to hide it anymore. He was stupid. Y'all, I don't know uh all the stuff that's going on um in the entertainment world here lately. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, two things. I wanted to talk about Basketball Wives and I wanted to talk about Love and Hip Hop. And it's not so much to talk about the episodes because honestly, y'all, I can't say that I watch them in order and I can't even say that I watch all of them. But I watched enough of them to look at it this way. I just heard about Tommy from Love and Hip Hop, the one that's drunk all the time, and how she got kicked off the show and all this stuff. One thing that just watching these shows, because I see that this damn Basketball Wives is back on and they still shooting their regular. One thing that just kind of irks me about these shows is they reward those women, those people that be on those shows for that bad behavior. And then when the behavior gets out of hand, instead of helping them, sending them to like rehab or anger management where they're not just saying, oh, Tommy went to rehab, or Tommy went, or Tammy went to anger management. They basically say it, but they don't actively help them. You know, they were all fine when Tommy was whooping people's ass and running up, jumping on tables, and Evelyn and all Basketball Wives, they all fine. But they don't do anything to help these people once they done came on television and showed their asses. I watched a little clip of Tommy, I don't know if it was this week's episode of Love and Hip Hop, where she took a glass of liquor or wine and basically unhinged her fucking jaw and poured it down her throat and then proceeded to lose her shit, where they had to take that girl off the set. Why did they let her get to that point? Most of our jobs, which I know this for a fact because I used to be in healthcare, if you got drug problems or substance abuse problems or anything, an alcoholic, your benefits will cover you going to rehab. Why didn't Mona make a stipulation in her contract with these people that, you know, if your behavior is too crazy, we gonna take you off the show, you know, because these people want to be on television so much that I believe that if these producers and these Bravo and all of these different VH1 and who all else, um about, you know, who all else handles these shows, I think if they tell these people, you know, if you get on here and show your ass too much, you will be off. No, no second chances, no this, no that. They let Jocelyn get out of hand. They let these people get out of hand. And then when they get out of hand, then they want to completely cut ties with them. After the person has come on television, showed their natural asses to the point where they probably are unemployable with anybody else because they've been on national television acting a damn fool. Who else would want to work with them? Now, I look at Tommy. Tommy is a very pretty girl. And I believe if they would have nipped Tommy in the bud a couple of seasons back and told Tommy, look, if you want to be part of this show, you're going to have to get, you know, we got all kind of help for you, Tommy. If you want to get some help for your drinking, even though you ain't admitting that you got a problem, if you want to get help for your family issues, we have that for you. All you have to do is ask and accept the help. that is a stipulation of you having a job on the show, I bet you Tommy would have cleaned her shit up because she wants to be on that show. Um, and the same thing with when I watch Basketball Wives, y'all. I know a lot of y'all probably like Tammy Roman, but ever since I liked Tammy Roman until that season where she was tripping on that one girl, bullying that one girl. I was done with Tammy after that. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Tammy is her fucking hilarious. Some of the shit that Tammy says cracks me up, but I just can't get past that bullying thing. I just cannot get past it, because that is in her nature. And Tammy sits back. I remember girls like Tammy in school. When you meet Tammy, Tammy sits back and assesses you. She lets you run your mouth so she can see what weaknesses you have. That's like on what is that, Real Housewives of Potomac. What are those two green eyed women named Giselle and Robin? Robin and them do that. They sit back, let you run your mouth, tell all your shit, find out where you weak, and then they strike at your weaknesses. See, that's why it's another YouTuber that I had watched today, and she said exactly what I said. That's why I don't have a whole bunch of female friends, because I'm not for all that. You're not about to be talking to me all kind of crazy, y'all. I ain't even 5 feet tall, but they would have to beat me within an inch of my life because I'm still gonna be running my mouth. You're not gonna be sitting up acting like you a queen bee and I'm supposed to be kissing your ass. I'm just not. We too old for that, y'all. We not in high school where we're all vying to be queen bee. In our own lives, each one of us are queen bees. When you look at your family and the people you around, you probably the queen bee in your life. Well, I'm the queen bee in mine. And I'm not about to be kissing no other woman's. But I just think it is sad the way that these reality shows chew these women up and spit them out. They let them hang themselves. They make all the money they can off of them, and then when they're done and the women have come on there, showed their asses, lied, did all kinds of shit. Then they get rid of them. Phaedra, look at all the casualties. They set them up to fail. Sheree, they let her sit up there talk about that she has she by Sheree and Chateau Sheree, and the bitch ain't got none of that shit. She barely keeping up that house. And why would she build that big mansion and her kids is grown or damn near grown? There is no way Sheree should have all of that. Somebody said they wish the production staff cared more about the cast. I don't believe that they actually care about these people. Well, I know for a fact that they don't. They care about what these people can bring to their bottom line. But when I heard about Tommy, I don't know why it is that I have a soft spot for Tommy. Um, being on these shows. And it's not that I think she's better than anybody else, but I just felt like if they would have nipped Tommy in the bud a couple of seasons ago, Tommy would be winning now, because some of these women have taken these reality shows and springboarded into, you know, actual fame. Nene, for one, even though she's back on Real Housewives of Atlanta, for a minute there, she was doing the damn thing. Look, she got her a mansion and is friends with quite a few of Hollywood, so she did something right. Even though she's another one that I can only take in small doses. And y'all, finally, I wanted to talk about Kenya because I am still confused whether Kenya is actually pregnant. Now, this is what I said in my video. I do not believe that Kenya would lie about that. And the reason why I don't believe Kenya would lie about that is because you know how it's something that you've been wanting for such a long time. It's something that you've been longing for, and it's right there within your grasp. Kenya has been wanting a husband, and she has been wanting a family. And I really don't think that Kenya would lie about having a husband because it's too easy to verify that whether she is married. Records are public, so they can verify that. I really don't think that Kenya would play with being pregnant, because if she came back to the show in season 11, people would know whether she was pregnant. Now, what I'm hearing in the last couple of days is they're saying that Kenya is not coming back. Then some people are saying that the reason why she's not coming back is because she did lie about being pregnant. Now, I don't believe that that's what it is. I believe what it is that Kenya has finally gotten what she wanted. And just like everybody said, she's unwilling to share that with America. It was all right for her to fuck over Phaedra's man and her husband and all that and flirt with him. Because I don't care what nobody said. When Kenya first met Apollo, she was flirting with him, y'all. Think about if that was in your personal life and you had a friend, or acquaintance, somebody you had just met, and they was coming at your man asking you if you would like to have a threesome and all of this stuff. Y'all would not be down for that. If some woman was all up in your man's face. I also almost believe that Kenya is not a quitter. I believe she wouldn't have quit the show, but I believe she does not really have a problem with them saying, you know what, you're not welcome back if you're not willing to share. I believe that Kenya would have shared in her own time. I also saw Kenya on Twitter or something, and Kenya said that a lot of the reason why she didn't share in the beginning is because she was in her first trimester. She is a certain age, and that she wanted to get through certain things before she started yelling to the hills that she was pregnant. And I believe that. I believe, hey girl, S underscore Hutchinson, you caught me on live, child. I'm talking about these damn reality shows and Morgan Freeman and the 30-year-old fool that was living with his parent and all of this stuff. I'm doing a review of some of the videos that I did because I had told, well, for people who just now coming in, I had told people that I had did that Roseanne video, and this one, I don't know if you would call the woman a troll, but she wrote a damn book under my damn video. And I was sitting there thinking, girl, ain't nobody reading all this shit. And then why are you but her? She told me I didn't know Roseanne. I wanted to say, bitch, do you know her? I mean, come on now. We only going by what the broad tweeted, and she does tweet shit that's crazy, and she's a Trump supporter, so ain't nobody got time for her. And I wasn't watching her show because, for one thing, on her show I can't get with disrespectful kids. And I, even though it's television, I think the damn kids on that show was too damn disrespectful. Now that's when I watched it back in the day. I've not watched not one episode of this new reboot. But something oh, another thing that person that was under my video said, it's just so unfair that they got rid of Roseanne's show. I said, well, look, bitch, ABC didn't think it was unfair. And y'all, check this out. Did y'all see who was I don't know if she's the CEO, what she is at ABC, but it's a black woman. Ooh, that was funny, y'all. Her name is Aisha or something. You say, I hope her name is not Kenya, because I had to block him or her. They left me over 20 comments, and she said they look like ebooks. You stupid girl. Then you silly. This one, she had like 3 comments, and one of them, she had about 8 paragraphs. I was like, look, ain't nobody reading all this, girl. Once I read the first couple sentences, I was like, you know what? Thank you for watching the video. That's all I'm concerned about. Did you watch to the end? Did you watch to the end? Girl, What I learned with these trolls is my grandfather used to say, kill people with kindness. So what I do, Shelly, is I say, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. They could be done call me all kinds of black bitches, this, that, and the other. And it makes them so mad when I am nice, as opposed to if I just go ahead and cuss them out. Like if I cuss them out, I don't even block them no more. I don't block them. I don't delete them. I'll be like, thank you. Come back again and watch the rest of my videos. It's several more, because these people, they will change their name. This one lady I had blocked a while ago. I don't know why I blocked her simple ass, but I had blocked her. She went and changed her name and came back under another name immediately. I was like, damn, you made another profile on YouTube that quick and came back? You said, told me I shouldn't have honey because I have bipolar. I don't even use honey. You said you played nice, but then that led to 20 messages. Girl, 20. These people, look, I don't have time for all that. Typing all that shit. And NYC Chocolate said, life is unfair. Don't she know? Get over it. Keep it pushing, just like real women do. My grandmother's favorite saying. Yeah, Roseanne thought her shit didn't stink. She was used to doing shit her way and saying little shit and it's slipping by. Well, I guess this time they said, you know what, bitch, you got one more good time. And y'all, when I was reading her tweets, I said, wait a minute, her fat ass saying all this shit. And Roseanne is a true Trump supporter. She wasn't just playing a role on that show, because they said on the show that she's supposed to be a Trump supporter and her sister is supposed to be a Democrat or something, and they were supposed to bump heads, and that's was supposed to keep the show lively. Well, I guess she wasn't playing in real life. She is too a Trump supporter. And then y'all president, oh my God. Oh my God. Do y'all agree with me now that he the Antichrist? My mother think it's funny every time I say this. But y'all, I'ma tell y'all, everybody that claim that they don't like him, they will go around him, and 5 minutes after they come out the room, they whole thing be done changed. Ain't that what happened with Damien? And girl, look, he the Antichrist. I don't care what nobody say, y'all. When he on television, I don't even listen. I turn the shit down in case he's sending some subliminal shit through the airwaves. He ain't gonna get my ass. If they talk about taking the mark of the beast, y'all, girl, look. I don't even go to church every Sunday. I'm gonna be posted up. Y'all gonna be like, Rachel, it's missing in action. I'm in church all day Sunday, because something about him is not right. He is a psycho. He is slowly trying to change everything that Obama did. And also, y'all, he act like Hitler. He act like an American version of Hitler. Y'all, I am a student of history. I love anything to do with history. So once upon a time, I used to want to be a history teacher, till I realized how short I was, and they might be whooping my ass up in those schools. Some of them kids, being way bigger than me. But when I read the way that Hitler started off, it's a lot like what Trump is doing here in America. And if you read, like, it's this show that I had told my son to watch, and it's called The Rise of Hitler. Y'all, they damn near show it on the weekend, practically once or twice a month. I guess they try to remind us of something, because I kid you not, I had just told my son to watch it a couple of weeks ago, and he called me. He said, "Mom, it just came on this weekend," and I caught it, and I thought he was lying, and he was right. It had just came on. Um, he says S underscore, this is my day one. It's just, oh, I'm reading y'all stuff. Oh, y'all talking about Jennifer Lewis. Look at me. I'm so busy trying to read what y'all saying. I had mentioned Jennifer Lewis. Remember S underscore y'all, I can't talk today. S underscore Hutchinson. I'm calling you Shelly, girl. Your name too damn long. Shelly, remember when I was telling you about I had saw an interview on television with her talking about the troubles that she had been through and how I don't understand how people could be honest about what they're going through and then other people attacking them. And I had talked about my family member that has been suffering with issues since they were about 24 and they're 48 years old now. And when I say this family member has suffered, they went from being an outgoing dancing on the table sort of type of personality, like the life of the party, to where they barely can come out their home. They one problem spiraled into other problems, and to watch that person suffer throughout their lives and then watch what the quality of their life has become is sad. And when you seeing a person going through that, I don't see how somebody could come on and hear them telling their truth and then attack them for it. That is just I just I can't even I can't even relate to that. Even to my family member early on when this person was because they have agoraphobia where they have panic attacks where they can't really, there are times when they cannot leave the house. I remember family members used to say that the person was faking, that they can go out when they want to. And I remember thinking the times that the person is going out is because that person is pushing themselves because they have been in a house for months and really have not gone out. You know, literally to the point where at one point the person not only couldn't go out the house, they couldn't go out of a certain room of the house. Like, you know how you got a back part of your house? They stayed in the back part of the house and pretty much they survived, you know, that way. Mental illness in the black community, I don't know why we try to act like we don't have some people in our family that we know are not dealing with some issues. I have an uncle that every so often he they lived in the suburbs. The suburb, and this was years ago because nowadays they would come out and shoot shit out of them and wipe their hands of it and gone on about. But he was in the military. He was in the Vietnam War, and he would have episodes where he would be right back in and he would be up on the roof thinking he's shooting down enemy, and the suburban police would come and talk him down and you know work with him because they have been used to dealing with him over the years. Now our family let them tell it wasn't really nothing wrong with him. Um and they some of the things that they would say, you used to be thinking, you know what, y'all, he need help. And then you know, eventually he got help on his own. He went somewhere and told people, literally, I need help. I don't think I'm rap tight. And what they told him is the fact that you recognize that you have a problem means that you are not as far gone as you think you are because you recognize that something is wrong. Y'all, I could do a whole 2 or 3 videos on this because I have a couple family members. My family has the same issues that every other family do. Just man, I could, if I didn't think my family was listening every so often, although probably half of them are not speaking to me right now because of some of the other shit that I've said, I could tell y'all some stories, the things that I have witnessed in my own family that my family knows if they were witnessing this in somebody else's family, they would be talking shit. But because it's our family, they try to gloss over it or make it seem like it ain't what it really is. And sometimes you look at family and you're like, you know what, y'all ain't shit if y'all letting this happen. And y'all can kind of sum up from um what I'm saying, what I'm talking about. And it's been some people in my generation who have called the folk on some of the people in the older generation, where we have sat and watched them allow stuff to happen, and we said not in our generation, that we're not going to say that. Okay, I'm reading some of y'all comments. You said, I so agree. We as African American and women period have so many issues that we need to deal and get assistance for. After Nate does her review of the book, I'm going to talk about how the book relates to me. Some parts of the book hit too close to home for me. I gotta read this book then. I'm gonna get this on my Kindle and try to read it. I Because just watching Jennifer Lewis talk about it, I have seen her on several um, talk shows, and she has been talking about this for several years. She has been like, this is not something that she is just now starting to come out. She has been very open about it. She even said that she believes that that's what helps make her a good actress. And I believe it, because she is eccentric. She has flavor, and she is, I just like her. I just like her, and I respect her, and I never forgot, you know, how open she was, and her openness touched me, because in our NYC says, you said I was done in less than one day. It's long, but I couldn't stop. I wanted to finish it. You know what? That's how good books are, though. When you find someone, and it's because she's speaking her truth. I know that sound all like, oh, Rachelle says she's speaking her truth, but there is something to be said for speaking your truth. Another thing that I noticed too, that with this family member that I have, that it took them a whole bunch of years that I think were wasted, but that's just me, because let me just preface this by saying I don't walk in that person's shoes, and I can't tell them how to go through their battles with mental illness. Now, what this family member did, that if I could be the one advising them, they took the medicine that was given to them, but they wouldn't take like the therapy, the going in and sitting down with a psychiatrist, because of course in our community it's a stigma about going to see a psychiatrist. It was bad enough the person felt that they were taking medicine for it, and if a medicine had a certain name they wouldn't take it, because they heard. But I think that had that person did the medicine along with the going in to sit down and speak to the psychiatrist, because I believe they go hand in hand, the medicine and sitting down talking about what's going on. I think that they wouldn't have suffered these last 25 years. But again, that's my opinion, being on the outside looking in. I'm not walking in that person's shoes. So whatever way that they feel that they need to address what's going on with them, you can't pressure that person into doing it the way that you feel that they should do it, because first of all, this person also deals with agoraphobia, where they can't go out the house. So no doctor is going to come visit them, no psychiatrist is going to come visit them at home. So if you can't get out the house, then it's hard to go sit down to speak to a psychiatrist. So y'all, it's just a mess. It's just a mess. And I was just talking to my mother today, and my mother told me that this family member just recently told her that they're not doing good. they'll say they're going through a rough patch. And we can talk till we're blue in the face, and we can try to be there for the person, but we can't go through this for them. And even when I talk about this person, I get in my head about that person because it's somebody that's very close to me. And the reason why I'm not saying who it is because they are that close that just me talking about it, and if they ever clicked on my video, they wouldn't, it would hurt them that I talk about it. But the fact that I'm not identifying who it is, they would appreciate that more because they know that not a lot of people outside of our family know what they're dealing with, and I don't think they want a lot of people to know. It's bad enough that the family members know, and the person has been teased and called crazy, and ignorance in families is sometimes, y'all, ignorance can be so hurtful to people. Even when I think about this person, it's bothering me just thinking about, some of the stuff that they're going through, and how a lot of family members, quite honestly, didn't believe them. you know they thought the person was putting on, like when the person went and got social security because of the issues that they're dealing with. What is it, social security disability? They said that the person was being lazy and didn't want to work. But the problem with that is that the person is a hustler. This person can sell you your draws off your body. that's that's how much a hustler, because they know they can't hold a regular job. They have spent the last 24 years hustling and opening businesses. Now, believe it or not, even with everything that this person is going through, they have been a business owner several times over, flipping houses, selling cars, everything that they can think to do to keep them with a steady income. So that shows you that if this person could get the help that they deserve, that they will live a really quality life. Yeah. As Shelly said, you go in there with one issue and leave with 100. Child, tell me about it. Everything happens in time, and just like you said, when a person is ready to receive that help, is true. And I see it, and yeah, and I don't think it's so much the person is not ready to receive it. They don't, because they suffer from agoraphobia, they don't know how to get out the house. you know they have panic attacks. I've been with the person when they had one, and at the time I remember telling the person, which I later on apologized to them because I didn't understand panic attacks. And when the person was telling me that they couldn't breathe, that they felt like they were going to die, and all of that, I was telling the person, it's all in your head. You can breathe. Just calm down, you can breathe. But then I watched the documentary on what they're going through, panic attacks and all of that. And when I watched the documentary, they said that they really can't breathe. That when they're telling you that they can't breathe, that they really cannot. So I, after doing my research, had to call that person and say, you know what? I finally, now that I'm older, did my research on what you're going through. And I apologize for not understanding when I was younger. But, if you ever need me, I'm there. So, y'all, it's in our community. I don't know if it's ignorance. I don't know if we so narrow minded as a people that when we see somebody is suffering through stuff, I don't know what it is, y'all. I really don't. Because I can't say that we as a people we're narrow minded. I don't know. I maybe we are, because this is, it's a whole bunch of stuff. Um, yeah, he's the person said that, I almost said who it was. You said those attacks feel like death. My daughter used to say, go outside and get air. She didn't understand. Yeah, this person When I saw them have a panic attack, it was terrifying to me. It was, it overtakes them from the tip of their head. You can't fake sweat pouring off of you. You can't just instantly say sweat pour off of me, you know, speed up my heart, they couldn't fake all that. And for the family members that basically, told this person they were lying, they were faking, they were just trying to get a check from Social Security, you know, who would want to go down there and be a young person going down there in the prime of their life and not want to work, be, just it's some people, I just feel like some people don't, they can't, they don't relate, and they don't try to relate, y'all. We have gone off into some subjects here, but the just life in general. That's why even with my kids, I try to stay, even though they're adults. My son says I smother him, but I figure like this: it's a whole big world to be out there getting lost in. And if you don't know you loved, and there's people that care about you, and that, no matter what's going on in the world, that you got one place that's safe and there's no judgment. I think we need to let our kids know that. And even though I'm not about to sit here and lie and act like these brats that I got, even though they grown, because they are brats, both of them. It's something when you get your kids grown, and even though they good people, you realize that they're still spoiled brats. Both of mine, they're spoiled, y'all. I don't have nobody to blame but myself. And the reason why I know they are is because some of the things that they expect me to do, especially since I'm a single parent. I was going to say damn father, but I don't mean to say it like that because the man is dead. But the damn father died like 5 years ago, and this shit been on me. But some of the stuff that they be expecting me, like, I remember getting back to 30-year-olds when my son had asked me, what was he, about 25 again? This is the year when I guess he had lost his goddamn mind, y'all. He had asked me, could I put him on my phone bill. I was like, well, when you wasn't living in this city, you had your cell phone in your own name. Why, when you come? Well, I just thought it'd be easier, mom, if you put me on yours. And my daughter got mad because I wouldn't put her on my car insurance. I said, look, when I called who was it that I was with, Allstate, they told me to put, now listen to this, y'all. They told me if I added her to my car insurance, I would say, they told me it would be an additional $75. Y'all heard what I said? 75. If she came to them on her own and got car insurance, it would be $79. So I told the girl to go get her own goddamn insurance. And she was like, but my friend's mom. I said, well, then you tell your friend's mom to put you on their damn insurance because you're not about to be on mine. Go out here and have an accident and have my shit all jacked all up. Um, you said I know mine is rotten. Now the thing is, I and no, I can't say I didn't know that I wasn't doing it, because I did know that I was doing it. But it's funny how it manifests itself when they get older. And what it is it's nothing, it's things that they don't have any shame in asking you to do. Like, there is no way, if when I was 25 or 26, I would have asked my mother, can she put me on her cell phone bill? But these kids nowadays, they don't have no problem. I guess they figure, hell, I'm going to ask her. The only thing she can say is no and cuss me out, because that's exactly what I did. And another thing, don't y'all think it's funny how this generation feels like they can negotiate? Like, if our parents told us no or shut the hell up. Now, my son is good for this. If I tell him to shut up, now he 31. He think he's supposed to keep on talking. Me and him, I just had to tell him a couple months ago, I will throw you down these damn stairs if you keep on talking. And he was like, I'm just talking. I'm a man now. And blah. I said, no, you a man when you outside this house. But when you come in here, I'm your parent. If I tell you conversation is over, shut the hell up. Don't keep talking because you pissing me off. Or if you want to talk, leave my house. Why you gotta talk here? Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, kids ain't no joke. I thought that once they was grown, this shit'd be over, but it's never over. Any of y'all who got young kids, just keep in mind, whatever you put in them, you gonna get it back. Whatever wrong that you do, you're gonna get it back. If you're not a good parent, you're gonna get it back. If you don't teach them how to make it out in the world, you're gonna be helping them forever. Um, it's so much stuff that somebody said she's setting up because she's still on her mother's cell phone plan. Well, that's a little different. No, they look, in some circumstances, it's okay. But when you are making a certain income, it's time for you to get your own shit. Like my daughter coming out of college, when I was looking at the jobs, and what she's going to be doing, she's going to be making a nice little penny. And y'all, I don't know if I told y'all this. I got to get off of here, but I got to say this. What is up with these college graduates not wanting to work? Did I tell y'all that my daughter, y'all know the girl just graduated, what, about 3 weeks ago? Do you know she talking about she want to work at, now I don't know what state y'all live in, but do y'all have Tim Hortons? It's a coffee place. Or Panera's. Right now, she works two jobs because she's still at school till her lease is up. She's worked one job at Tim Hortons and the other job at Panera's. She says that when she moves home, that's where she want to work. I told her, when your student loans kick in, broad, and they whooping your ass, you're gonna get a real job then. She was like, she want to take a year off and not really worrying about working, and she also thinks she's moving in with me. I told her, but I got something for her ass. Her lease is up uh in August. My lease is up at the end of September. So if she can move in for 1 month, then she'll be moving her shit right back out because I'm moving. Because this big place I have now, I really don't need all this. Y'all, I got a finished basement. I don't even go down there. The only time I go down that basement is when I gotta wash and I do my laundry and come on the hell up out of there because it's too many bugs down there for me, y'all. Y'all know I make wait a minute. I wish I could copy this where she says, Sally Mae, don't play. Tell Miss Amber to get ready. I know that's right. Look, the first month when they tell her how much she owes, look, y'all, she thinks she eating ramen noodles now. She gonna be eating less than that. I'm not even gonna worry. I try to negotiate with this little girl, or not negotiate, will advise her. Well, I shouldn't say little girl because she's definitely a woman. I try to advise her, but she thinks she knows everything. And now, y'all, she really thinks she know everything because she got her damn degree. You can't tell the world nothing now. But when them student loans start whooping her in her ass, knocking her all upside her head, she gonna come to her damn senses because I'm not helping do nothing. I told her, if you want to work at Tim Hortons and Panera's, you're gonna be living in the hood, and I'm not coming to visit you down there. No, because I'm just not. I said, when your ass ain't got no goddamn food, don't come over my house trying to find none because I'm not feeding you. Because by right, I even asked her, I said, you can't get a little like penny ante job working in an office where you're not standing up on your legs all day. I mean, come on, y'all, wouldn't you at least get a job where you were sitting at a desk? I mean, you got a fucking college degree. What did you go to school for 5 years then? Why was you taking my money? You could have came and worked at Tim Hortons and Panera without a damn college degree. I mean, come on. The first 2 years, y'all, let me tell y'all, the first year I had to pay $500 a month. Y'all, look, she better get her a job because I expect my damn money back. No, I'm just kidding. But my brother was like, wait a minute, you was paying $500 a month? He said, girl, she'd have been going to the local community college messing with me. Yeah, put it this way. Y'all know we live in the city with Ohio State. Only reason why I didn't want her to go to Ohio State is because Ohio State is overrated. If y'all, if one day when I drive, when I'm down near Ohio State, I'm gonna take a video of what Ohio State looks like on the outside, and y'all are not gonna be able to believe it. When I first moved to this city, I said, this is Ohio State. Ohio State is known for their athletic department, but they're they're too much. You know, if you're gonna pay that much, you might as well go away to college. So you basically paying that high tuition to support their athletic team. So she wasn't gonna be living here. Plus, she was working my goddamn nerves. She had to move out, and if she listened to this, y'all, she gonna be like, "Whoo!" I forget. She be listening. She might be on here now listening. Like this bitch on here talking about me. Well, she know how I feel because I told her that she need to go ahead and get her a damn uh real job sitting behind the desk. But yeah, if y'all one day when I'm driving down where Ohio State is, I'm gonna do a video and let y'all see what Ohio State look like. Now my son said that once you actually get into the campus, that it actually looks nice. I'll be on that income driven plan forever. I always cry broke every year when I'm um yeah, Ohio State is very overrated. When I first moved here, the area around Ohio State looked like the hood, y'all. And those kids constantly get robbed down there. They get their homes broken in. I mean, where home invasions, where the kids are in the house when the person breaks in. I had never heard of a home invasion until I moved to Columbus. I hadn't even heard the term home invasion because in Cleveland, where I come from, you break into somebody's house while they home, it's gonna be a fight to the death. They don't just break into your house while you're there. They at least get the common decency to wait till you gone, break into your shit. In Ohio State, they kicking down doors, kids waking up with people with guns, over them, kids missing from down there. Mm-mm. Who said your daughter don't watch you? She said the titles let her know not to click on. I should make this title something that that she ain't gonna click on. No, I should put on it. Amber need a job. That's what I should name it. Amber need to get a real job and quit fucking around with Panera and Tim Hortons. That's what I should name it. Woo. Y'all got me laughing. I came on here to talk about some other shit, and y'all got me all over everywhere. Uh, uh, that's your cat, isn't it? Y'all, we all need. I'm now that I'm not shy to talk on what I don't come on the screen, but I would have loved to do a blab with you, Shelly. But girl, child, look. Oh, I forgot to call you. Oh, I don't. Do I? Was I supposed to say that? Well, one day we'll talk. I forgot to call you. That was during the time that my I was leading up to my daughter's graduation. You said he beat me up so bad that I recorded on my yeah. Well, one day we'll talk. I was gonna call you when you had was having problems getting your video to render because what you were showing that has happened to me. Because I actually have another video that I did for our family. Um, you know, for my daughter's graduation that I could never get to go up. It's a longer video with more stuff in it. But after I couldn't get it to go up, I did another one, a shorter one. And then right after I did it, then I realized why that other one wasn't going up. And it was the same problem you were having. You said Leave her alone. She'll find out. But Panera's one of my favorite. Girl, when you go to her house, she have all kind of bread, every kind of bread and either pastry that you, because she also is a cheapskate. Well, not cheapskate. Anything they try to throw away, and she knows that it's still fresh, she'll bring it home. And and then like when we come down there, she'll have all this good stuff. But yeah, the bro to be home in August, child. I hope she find her a place because mothers and daughters don't, we get along better when we don't live together. I'll just leave it at that. She knows she gets on my nerves when she live with me, and I get on her nerves when she's here too. So what is it that we should be talking about, y'all? What else is it? I still can't get over that 30-year-old, y'all. Every time I think of that shit, it has me rolling, rolling. He said his parents are not good people, and he will never speak to them again. I wish my son would do that, and I had told him it's just time for you to move out and get your own place. But see, that's how I know that we have spoiled these kids, and I include myself into it too, because like I said, it was from the time that I was 18, or actually as soon as I was able to work, it was fun to me because the more money you made, the more stuff you had. So it was she said that's me and my daughter, but I love her. I love my daughter too, but we do not get along when we live together. Girl, at one point, I think I told y'all about this time when me and her was arguing, y'all, and she was sitting at the top of the stairs, and I could just see myself throwing her down the stairs. But then I thought about it. I said, when she get hit the bottom stair and she unconscious, I'm gonna have to wake her ass up and be like, remember you fell. And then I'm gonna call 911 to help her out. Cause that girl's mouth, man, she never shut her damn mouth. And but that's the difference between this generation and our generation. Y'all, with the Roseanne stuff, I don't know, y'all. I guess she got her wake up call today. Now, did she post that today or did she post it yesterday? Did she? Because if she posted it today, ABC wasn't playing with her. They cut her shit immediately, as my grandfather would say. Immediately. She probably gonna be on some talk show crying. Oprah probably interview her, and she gonna be on there crying like Paula Dean was. Y'all, I'm still upset about when I had to cut Paula Dean loose, but I definitely had to cut her racist ass loose. When you telling your employees to dress up like servants, slaves and shit, no, you're not gonna put him out in 8 years. Trust me. When you see what at least give him to 21. I gave my son to 21, and now in hindsight, I wish I would have let him stay a little bit longer because they not ready mentally to be out on their own at 18. I realize that now. I think 20 between 21 and 23, because like they ain't never paid a bill. They don't, even though you can teach them, because my it's not like my son didn't know how to pay bills, but child, his electricity was getting cut off for little bits of money, like 100 or some dollars. And I didn't believe him. I would call the electric company and be like, how much do this fool owe? And they would tell me, and I'd be like, how did your bill get cut off for $90? And then when they explained to me how he was paying his bill, I said, oh my God. Oh, I didn't teach him this. He knew that he had to pay something. It's the amount that he was paying. It wasn't enough. So they cut his shit off. It was so many things that child, it took him a few years to learn. And I think for a boy, maybe, a young man, they have to learn it on their own because like I said, it teaches them to be a man. And then I didn't want him, because I got some pussy ass men in my family. I didn't want him to be one of those type of men where every 5 minutes some woman calling me because he ain't got no job and he won't take care of the family and he won't get his butt up and work. And all that. Now, one thing I will say that my son is not playing with, and that is having no kids. He is 31 and he ain't even never had a oops. He is not playing because I think what it is he looks at his friends and my nephews. Both of my nephews got kids, and then a lot of his friends got kids, and he see all this child support they paying and all these problems they having with these women. Because my one nephew, I'm gonna say this, y'all, and I'm gonna get off. Y'all, I I don't know if y'all remember when I had my knee surgery. My son had drove me to have my physical therapy or a follow-up appointment or something because I couldn't drive because I had on one of these casts that you can't bend your leg. So I go up there to have my appointment, and I tell him, I'm gonna be down in about 30 minutes. Boy, be down here because I can barely walk. Y'all, I get downstairs. Why this fool ain't down there? So y'all know I'm sitting there waiting, waiting, waiting. I can't really sit down because if I sit down, I'm not gonna be able to get back up. So I don't know whether to sit, stand, or what. I'm on crutches and all this. Eventually he pulls up. Now we in this area where if you're doing valet parking, so I can't really cuss him out right there because soon as he opened the door, I want to cuss him out. So I get in the car and we go to drive out of the little valet area. So then I commence to start cussing him out. Where the hell you been? I can't walk, you bastard. I standing down there with my goddamn knees swelling up. Where the fuck you been? You driving my shit and you done left me standing. Now I'm standing there, y'all. I'm in pain by now. The damn fucking pain pill done wore off. I'm pissed. So he waited till I get finished and he was like, well, I had to go help Chris. Now Chris is my nephew. So I said, "Well, what the hell you mean you had to go help Chris? Is he more important than your mother?" And he was like, "Well, mom," he was like, every few months Chris get his windows in his car knocked out by some woman." He said that my nephew had went to work. Y'all, this shit ain't funny, but it is funny. He said my nephew had went to work, and while he was at work, he was looking out the window, and he saw this group of girls pull up to his car with baseball bats and jump out and start breaking out all his goddamn windows. So I said, well, why the hell he called you? He got a brother. And he was like, Brandon ain't going to get Chris. And so he was like, he know I'ma come. He was like I've gone to get him all the other times them women have broken out his car windows. I said, what do you mean? This not the first time his fucking car windows done been broke out? He was like, no, Chris got that special car insurance that's for when you get crazy women in your life. He told me that my nephew, now y'all, my nephew is a ladies man. He's really cute, and to be honest, y'all, he just has a lot of women, and he don't have any problem cheating on them. And I'm not defending this boy because he be living with girls, going to pick up other women in their car and all kind of crazy wrong shit. Well, the day that his car windows got broken out this time, the woman that he was his main woman was breaking out one half, and then the girl that he was cheating on the main woman with was breaking out the other half. I said, Lord have mercy, what is the hell is wrong with Chris? I said, they go with the way these women is nowadays, they gonna fuck around and fuck him up. He better quit cheating on these women. I mean, like, oh my God. Now my one nephew is a ladies man. Just I don't know, y'all. What I realize is some women is just too aggressive. Cause I'll be with my other nephew, and these women be, when I tell you these young girls be throwing it at him. I'm standing there as his aunt. I'll be like, damn. Even to like, when you look at him, you be like, well, wait a minute, let me look at him good. Let me get a good. I'm trying to look at him like they looking at him. What is going on? But my one nephew, y'all, child, they breaking out his windows. So when my son started telling me the story of how many times this boy's windows have been broken out, he said, "Mom, they even breaking out the little windows in the car. You know, the little bitty slither windows. They breaking out those too." He said these women ain't playing. He said, then that time when the girl had broke out his window, I guess Chris ran out there and was like, "No, please don't break out my window." And the girl started chasing him with a bat. Girl, y'all, I I know this shit ain't funny, but I couldn't help it. I was cracking up. I said, "What the hell? Well, can't he just be faithful?" And then so my son was like, "Man, Chris ain't gonna be faithful, Mom." I said, he said, "Don't you think I've told him maybe if you would just stay with one woman and not cheat, and if you're gonna cheat, why you sloppy with it, man?" This is why they breaking out your window. Y'all, when I do this video, I must see if I could get a picture of this nephew and attach it to the thing. I'm telling y'all, this shit is funny. What I realized is I done told my nephews, I said, these girls just as like we tell women to be careful of guys, we need to tell some of these boys to be careful of some of these young women, because I done told my nephews, they keep on fucking over these girls, one of these girls gonna fuck them up, because all that cheating and you gotta he this one nephew that I'm speaking of, he brought his sons over, and he was like, I said, "Well, how old is this one?" And he was like, "2." And then I said, "Well, how old is the other one?" Because they was the same height. He was like, "2." So I was like, "What, are they twins?" He was like, "No, they not twins, Auntie." I said, "Well, wait a minute. What, they 2 months apart?" Child, look. Then he comes over with one girl, and when I last saw him, I'll just say he was with a girl named Aisha. So when he brings, and the women kind of look alike, so I fucked it all up for him. I said, "Oh, hey, Aisha." She had whooped him all upside his head because this girl name wasn't Aisha. My son was looking at me like, "Oh my God, Mom, why don't you just say hi? Why you got to be trying to remember folk name? Now you go get curious windows broke." Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all. See, this is what having a son is about, and I'm glad that my son don't have all these women problems. Cause see, I'm not gonna be able to take it if you know that if he's having windows broken out every so often and all this shit, y'all. He got enough problems. He done had a couple of women that I done told him, I said, "You ain't that big. And these women that you keep going to get is damn near 6 foot tall." My son is not. He's only like 5'9". I said, "I don't know why you keep going to get these big Amazon women, because if some shit go down, you on your own." These big bitches that you keep going to get, I better quit saying that, because if his girlfriend watch this, she gonna be tripping. But yeah, some of these big country fed, big boned heifers, y'all, he gonna be on his own. I told him, I said, "Boy, you better get some women around my height, about my weight, because like this last girl he was dating, she called herself moving out." I said, "You can't have no company if that girl's name is still on the lease. You can't have no other women over there." I said, "Because if she come back and you got another woman in that house, she gonna fuck you up in there." I said, "The only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna visit you at the hospital. I ain't about to be in there tangling with her, and I got all kind of spine problems. She be done bent me up like a fucking pretzel, y'all. I can't get into all this stuff." They're little, the stuff that they go through, even though it's serious in their lives. You know why it's funny to me, y'all? Y'all remember when we used to go through all this when we was younger? So now I am my mother laughing about, even because when I laugh, they don't think it's funny. You know how they be sitting there looking at you like, "I don't know why this bitch laughing. This is my life." And she think it's funny. But y'all, we're at a different point in our lives. So it's actually funny. when my son was telling me all the different times that my nephew have gotten his windows broken out in the different episodes and how women done came over his house threatening. Now, this is how I know that these girls nowadays are not playing. Y'all know how when we were younger, the guy would come to your shit and be standing outside threatening to beat your ass. Nowadays, women are coming to the guy's house up to their job showing they ass. I was like, wait a minute. You mean the girl came up to his job? He was like, "Mom, these girls don't care." He was like, he said, and I'm not trying to help Chris with these women. He said, first of all, we can't hit them. He was like, because if we hit them, we going to jail. He was like, so the only thing we can do is run. I said, well, you was running with him. He was like, when she couldn't get him, she went after me. I was like, oh hell no. Y'all, this shit is so funny. When I hear they stories, it be cracking me up. But like I said, they don't find no humor in it. They be sitting there like, Auntie, this is not funny. This is my life. And I told them, I said, you quit uh mess around with all these different girls. Now I tell y'all one thing. Y'all know I make candles. And when I go to the place where I buy my supplies, it's a little white girl that worked there. And I know she like my son. Now my son is quiet and kind of shy and he's not sure. He don't have his let me just put it. My one nephew got game. And I must say, my son really don't. He don't know his animal magnetism, just put it that way. But when I noticed that this white girl was like my son, so I had told him, I was like, look, that girl like you. I said, why don't you go up there and flirt with her a little bit and maybe she'll give me a discount on this damn box of wax and some of these supplies. So he was looking at me. He was like, Ma, you trying to pimp me out? He was like, now, would you do that to Amber? I was like, no, I wouldn't. He was like, if Amber came with you and it was a guy up there, would you be pimping her out if you knew he liked her? And I told him, that's okay. I'm going to go get Chris, my nephew. I said, I'm going to go get him. I said, because if I bring Chris up here, not only will I get a fucking discount, this bitch probably give me all this shit free fucking with Chris. I said, I'll bring Chris next time. Because, see, I know if I take my nephew, he might be up there working at the goddamn store, y'all. Y'all, I'm going to get out of here because I have totally veered off what I was talking about. But y'all, I'm gonna if I could find excuse me, a picture and figure out how. Oh, I know how to attach the picture. I'm gonna attach a picture as soon as I end this video, so y'all can see this nephew that I'm. Well, hey, Natasha, welcome to the crazy channel, child, where I get to talking about one thing and end up talking about either my crazy kids, my crazy coworker, and Shelly. The reason why I was gonna call you one last thing, you know that job that you were so happy that I was working, I quit that bitch. I will talk about that in a video, girl. Look, all I can say is they was trying your girl and your girl wasn't having it. I'd rather be. Now, my mother told me if I keep fucking with her, I am going to be homeless and hungry and everything. But just put it this way, Shelly, all I know is I heard the Congo drums playing, and I went fuck nothing up. I got my purse and I left. And I do a video on it. I was gonna do a video, but I was like, they all was happy that I was working. So I don't want to disappoint nobody. But I'm gonna end it. Um oh, that was so sweet. Thanks, Natasha. She know I'm crazy, child. Shelly is my girl. Shelly is right. Shelly was, I don't even know how she found my channel. I only have 5 subscribers. And I had been watching her. I don't know how I stumbled upon her. And then one day she was like, oh, you have a YouTube channel? And I was like, if you can call it that, I only got 5 subscribers. And she said, oh, girl, please, I'm gonna come watch your videos. Then I felt like I needed to produce because she was watching. And it's because of Shelly that I have a station, because what she didn't know is that I really didn't have a station, but because she told me she was gonna watch, I said, "Well, shit, wait a minute, now she watching. I'm gonna have to get some videos out here." But it was because of her that I actually really, really started doing videos. But y'all, that's it. I'm hungry now. I got to go eat, and I'm gonna post a picture of my nephew so y'all can see this fool who these women keep on breaking out his goddamn windows. And y'all, what's the day? Tuesday. Oh, I'm gonna do a video about why I don't have that job no more and tell y'all what's going on with my pole life now. Thank y'all for coming and welcome aboard, Natasha. Thank you for letting me know that you were new. And anybody else who's new, thank you for watching. And I will see y'all later. Bye bye now.